Maria had just started her new job a week ago. After a long search and many rejections, she finally found a position at a prestigious restaurant. It wasn't glamorous work, but it paid the bills. Maria was grateful for the opportunity. She was a diligent, hard-working woman, determined to prove herself and make her mark. That day, the sky was grey, and the air had a chill. The city was covered with dark clouds, and raindrops fell in torrents, making the streets slick and dangerous. Maria held onto her small umbrella as she hurried to work. She was trying to avoid the puddles forming on the sidewalks when something unusual caught her eye. A frail old woman standing alone in the rain. The woman's clothes were soaked, and her grey hair clung to her face. She stood there, seemingly lost, with no umbrella or coat to protect her from the downpour. Maria's heart went out to her. Without thinking, she hurried over and offered the woman her umbrella. "Ma'am, you shouldn't stand here in the rain. Come with me. I'll help you get out of the cold," Maria said kindly. The woman's tired eyes lifted, and she gave Maria a grateful smile. "Thank you, my child. I have nowhere to go." Maria frowned, taking in her words. "Come with me to my workplace. It's safe, and you can wait there until the rain lets up." The old woman hesitated for a moment, then nodded. As they walked together, the woman's slow, deliberate steps seemed to weigh heavily on her frail body, but her gratitude was clear. Once at the restaurant, Maria found a quiet corner for the woman, helping her dry off and offering her some tea. Maria had only a few hours before her break, but she was determined to make the old woman as comfortable as possible. Later that afternoon, as Maria went out to buy some food, the restaurant manager, Thomas, came in. He was a tall, imposing figure who usually kept to himself. He had a reputation for being cold and calculating. When he saw the old woman sitting quietly in the corner, his expression darkened. "Who is this?" Thomas asked, eyeing the woman with disdain. Maria rushed to explain. "She's an elderly woman I found in the rain. She doesn't have anywhere to go, so I brought her here to stay warm." Thomas crossed his arms and sneered. "This is a restaurant, not a shelter. Get her out of here. We don't have time for this nonsense." Maria was taken aback. "She's not causing any trouble. Please let her stay until the rain stops." But Thomas was unmoved. "No, take her somewhere else, now." The old woman looked up at Maria with a resigned expression. "Don't worry, my child. I will leave." Maria's heart sank as the woman stood up. She was about to protest when the woman turned to Thomas and spoke softly. "You have no respect for others, but one day you'll understand what true kindness is." With those words, the woman walked out of the restaurant, her steps slow and heavy. When Maria returned from her break, she saw the old woman standing outside in the rain once more. "Why did you leave?" Maria asked, rushing to her side. The woman sighed. "A man in the restaurant asked me to leave. He called me names and told me I wasn't welcome. He said he didn't want people like me there." Maria's hands clenched in anger. "That man is rude and cruel. I'll make sure he knows how wrong he is." Without waiting, Maria stormed into the restaurant. She found Thomas at the counter, chatting with one of the waiters. She walked straight up to him. "How dare you treat that poor woman like that?" Maria demanded. "She's kind, and you've made her feel worthless." Thomas looked at her coldly, not surprised by her outburst. "She's a nobody, and you, Maria, are just a waitress. Know your place." Maria's anger boiled over. "You might be in charge here, but that doesn't give you the right to treat people like trash. One day, you'll learn that respect isn't something you can buy. It's something you earn." Without another word, Maria turned on her heels and walked out. As she left, she noticed the old woman still standing near the street, her shoulders hunched against the rain. Maria ran up to her. "You don't have to leave. I'll take you to my home, where you'll be safe," Maria said. The old woman smiled faintly. "Thank you, my dear. You are a good soul." That night, as Maria helped the woman settle into her tiny apartment, she couldn't stop thinking about what had happened. Why had Thomas been so cruel? And why had she felt so compelled to stand up for a stranger? The next day, as Maria was preparing to leave for work, she received an unexpected phone call. "Hello, is this Maria?" a deep voice asked. "Yes, this is Maria. Who is this?" she replied. "This is Austin Williams, the CEO of the restaurant where you work." The voice continued. "I understand there was an issue with one of my employees, Thomas. I wanted to personally apologize for his behavior." Maria was taken aback. "You're the CEO, but you weren't here yesterday." Austin chuckled. "No, I wasn't. I've been out of town on business. But I just wanted to make sure you knew that I don't condone how you were treated. It wasn't right." Maria was silent for a moment, still in shock. "Thank you, sir. But honestly, it's not about me. It's about the way that poor woman was treated." Austin's tone softened. "I understand. And Maria, I want to offer you something. You've shown a level of compassion and integrity that is rare to find. I'd like to promote you. I want you to become my personal assistant." Maria's jaw dropped. "What? But I'm just a waitress. Why would you?" Austin interrupted gently. "You're not just anything, Maria. You've proven that you're much more than that. You have a good heart, and that's what matters most to me." Maria could hardly believe it. "Thank you, sir. I don't know what to say." "No need to thank me," Austin said. "Just do what you do best. The rest will fall into place." Over the next few days, Maria's life changed dramatically. She moved into a new apartment, and her responsibilities as Austin's personal assistant grew. She was still in awe of how quickly her life had turned around. But she had one question on her mind. Why had Austin gone to such lengths to offer her this opportunity? As it turned out, Austin had been watching her from the moment she helped the old woman. He had arranged for Thomas to be rude and dismissive, knowing Maria would stand up for what was right. He wanted to see if she was truly as kind and genuine as she seemed. And when he saw how Maria reacted, he knew she was the kind of person he could trust. A few weeks later, Maria and Austin had a conversation that would change everything. As they sat together at lunch, Austin smiled and looked at her with admiration. "I've been meaning to ask you something," he said, his voice soft. "Maria, would you consider marrying me?" Maria blinked in surprise. "What? Why would you?" Austin took her hand gently. "I know this might be sudden, but I've never met someone like you. You care about others, and you're not afraid to stand up for what's right. I want you in my life. Will you marry me?" Tears welled up in Maria's eyes, and she smiled through them. "Yes, Austin. Yes, I will." As the weeks went by, Maria and Austin's relationship blossomed. They were a perfect match. And when they finally got married, it was clear that love, kindness, and integrity had brought them together. The restaurant became a symbol of their success, not just in business, but in life. And for Maria, it was the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with love, respect, and a future brighter than she could ever have imagined.